We've learned how to adjust your audio gain to set a baseline and to adjust audio volume to tweak individual clips. Often, however, you need to make intra-clip adjustments. For example, there are some places within the music that could probably be raised when Esther is not speaking. Additionally, there are some places within the interviews where the audio spikes when she speaks more loudly, and there are some places where she speaks more quietly and the levels drop too low. And if those volume adjustments happen within the boundaries of a single clip, then we'll use keyframes to animate the audio. So there are a couple of ways to create keyframes. First, you do need to make sure that you can see your volume line on every audio track. Remember, if you hold down Shift and then scroll up with your mouse scroll wheel, all audio tracks will expand and you'll be able to see your volume line. All right, I'm going to just come to my music clip here. We'll zoom in, and I want to just go over the mechanics of adding keyframes. If you're in general selection mode, as we are now, then you simply Command-click on your volume line. That's Control-click on a PC, and keyframes will be added. If you're doing a bunch of keyframing and you don't want to hold down the Command or Control key, you can also switch to the Pen tool, and then every time you click on the line, a keyframe will be added. I'm going to switch back to my selection tool, V. To delete a keyframe, you simply select it and press Delete. Or you can select multiple keyframes by Shift-selecting and then pressing Delete. And you can also come up to your Effect Controls panel. And then if I twirl down Volume, you can see the keyframes that I've added here. So you can access them here, and you can also add them here. So if I click here and add a keyframe, you can see that it's added both in the Effect Controls panel as well as the timeline. And if you need to delete multiple keyframes at once, that's most easily done from the Effect Controls panel because you can just lasso them all and press Delete. All right, so now that we know all about keyframes, let's put them into action. I'm going to start here with my music. I would like the music to be a little bit louder until Esther starts speaking. So let me play over this.
I love bread. Good bread is really lovely. Good bread is good for you.
Okay, so what I want to do is place a couple of keyframes here, and we want to raise the volume in the very beginning. So I'm just going to Command-click and make 2 keyframes, and then I can click and drag to raise my keyframe, or I can select the keyframe and use my keyboard. Right bracket goes up 1 decibel at a time, left bracket goes down 1 decibel at a time, and of course if I add Shift to that, it goes up and down 3 decibels at a time. All right, so I'm going to play and see how I like this.
I love bread. Good bread is really lovely.
All right, I thought it sounded pretty good. If I wanted to make that happen a little bit more quickly, I would just bring my keyframes closer together. If I wanted it to happen more gradually, I would bring them further apart. And I think I am happy with this timing. Again, I'll play over it and we'll move forward.
I love bread. Good bread is really lovely. Good bread is good for you.
All right, I'm going to move down the stream here. And I believe I have a little bit of time before she starts speaking on this second piece of music as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and add keyframes right before she starts speaking here. I'm going to Command-click and Command-click, and I'll drag this up a little bit, and let's see how that sounds.
So small family businesses like ours. All
right, I like that. I think I'm just going to spread them out a tiny bit more, but otherwise we're in good shape. Now you can also add keyframes to your dialogue and to your ambient audio. I'm going to come down to these green markers, and I'm going to solo my A1 track here. And let's play over this, and I want you to take a look at where the levels are. Anything above -6 should probably be addressed.
But not with these. They're only as good as the man working them. The man working them has to use his head.
Okay, so we spike just a little bit here. So let's add some keyframes and bring that down. We'll Command-click, Command-click, and Command-click. And we'll bring this down. And I think I'm going to bring this down a tiny bit as well. And let's see how that sounds.
With these, they're only as good as the man working them. The man working them has to use.
All right, and then I think over here she laughs and we also spike just a little bit.
To him.
Okay, and so we'll just add a couple keyframes and bring that down.
To him.
All right, so there will be those moments during the dialogue where you'll want to add a few keyframes. I'm going to come to my blue marker here, and we need to add some keyframes when she starts speaking here. I'll play. First I'll unsolo, and let's play.
When the bakers come in at 10 o'clock at night, they switch on these up.
Okay, so I'll just bring that down, command click, and bring that down, and let's see how it sounds.
When the bakers come in at 10 o'clock at night, they switch on these up.
All right, pretty good. Maybe just one more decibel. I'll click on it and press left bracket, and we're okay there. Now, let's talk about this. Another way that you can animate volume is to add audio cross dissolves, which is a great strategy when you need to smooth out audio clips that are abutting one another. So here, I'm going to play over this again.
Come in at 10 o'clock at night, they switch on these ovens.
Let's make that a little bit smoother. I'm simply going to select this edit, and then to add a dissolve to audio only, that's Command-Shift-D, that's Control-Shift-D on a PC. And then let's play.
10 o'clock at night, they switch on these ovens.
And I'm actually okay with the length of that dissolve. If you need to make it more gradual or more abrupt, you can trim in and out like so. So I can keep going, but I'm sure you can see that adding keyframes and dissolves are essential in creating a proper balance between the various elements in your sequence.